September. The United Nations General Assembly has declared this as a day devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace through observing 24 hours of non-violence and ceasefire. Now this year, it has been clearer than ever that we are not each other's enemies. Rather, our common enemy is a tireless virus that threatens our health, security and very way of life. COVID-19 has thrown our world into turmoil and forcibly reminded us that what happens in one part of the planet can impact people everywhere. In March, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called on all warring parties to lay down their weapons and focus on the battle against this unprecedented global pandemic. While the message is intended for armed parties, solidarity and cooperation across borders, sectors and generations are also needed to win this new fight against the worst public health crisis of our time. For the United Nations, 2020 was already meant to be a year of listening and learning. To mark its 75th anniversary, the UN has invited millions of people worldwide to join the largest and farthest-reaching global conversation on building the peaceful and prosperous future that we want. The 2020 theme for the International Day of Peace is Shaping Peace Together. Celebrate the day by spreading compassion, kindness, and hope in the face of the pandemic. Stand together with the UN against attempts to use the virus to promote discrimination or hatred. All right, now we want to get more information on the International Day of Peace. Let's now bring in Abdirashid Hussein, who is the Country Director of Equal Access International, for more details. Good morning, sir. What exactly is the significance of this day?
Hi, Ashley. Good morning to you and the country at large. This is a very important day. This is the day when the United Nations was founded 75 years ago. On the heels of the Second World War, a very destructive war that really destroyed, a lot of countries and millions of lives were lost. And I mean, it was a hopeless, useless war. It was a war of between nations, the superpowers of the day. That was the Axis, what was called the Axis powers, and the rest were the fascists. Italy and Germany on one side, US and Britain and other countries on the other side. So a lot of lives were lost, millions were lost of lives, as well as millions of dollars of properties were destroyed globally. So in order for humanity to say never again shall we fight, at that level, the United Nations was founded, and with it, there was a lot of peaceful ways of resolving conflict. And that's why we had the UN in New York, in Geneva, and in Nairobi. We have the United Nations offices that tries to calm, that tries to bring peace among the community of nations. And in Africa, we are lucky because we have the United Nations office here in Nairobi, which serves Africa and the world from Nairobi, from our own city. So it's time we take serious the peaceful endeavors, the mediation processes, the peacekeeping processes among nations, among communities, even among ethnic groups in our own country, in Kenya, in Somalia, in Ethiopia. We need peace. For peace, there is development, there is milk, there is honey. But without peace, there is no life. There is doom and gloom, and there is destruction. There is hopelessness without peace.
As you've mentioned,
that's why this day is very important to all of us.
All right, as you've mentioned, it's time to take peace very seriously. This year, the world is facing a common enemy, that is the coronavirus pandemic. How would you rate how the world is fighting this pandemic?
Well, those nations that took serious COVID-19 are able to swim through this pandemic. It's a global pandemic. Nobody can escape this COVID-19. It is a pandemic that spreads through the air. It's a contagious disease. Here in Kenya, at least the government and the people are taking it seriously, even though they are doubting Thomas is here and there. But I want to tell here and now, my fellow Kenyans, that This COVID-19 is serious, is dangerous, and it is a virus that has no medicine now. Therefore, it has turned our world topsy-turvy. It has brought in a new normal where we have to keep our social distancing, where we have to maintain our hygiene at a level never before known. We have to maintain our hygiene at a level never known before. And also we have to, make sure that we keep safe by wearing masks. This thing is airborne, and it's spread through, through the air. And it's better we avoid, crowded areas. Make sure you have your space, whether in the office, whether in, the supermarket, whether in the matatu or wherever you are. Keep your distance. As long as there is no medicine, as long as there is no vaccine. Right now, we don't have any vaccine. There is only hope that the vaccine might be available in the next, end of October, next year, January, blah, blah. All that is a hope. So the best thing we can do as a nation, as a country, is 1, maintain the social distances. 2, make sure you wear a mask. The mask protects people and it reduces rather, the spread of this COVID-19. Our world, as we used to know long before, is upside down now. We don't know what tomorrow holds. Many people have died because of not taking this disease the seriousness it deserves. And that's why economies, factories have closed, workers have been laid off. Big economies like in the West, US, Britain, Germany, Italy, are now in depression, with depressed economies. Economies are not growing. Therefore, because of COVID-19, millions have been laid off work, factory work, office work. There is no, the GDP of countries have shrunk because the labor that used to be in the market is no more in the market. People are forced to stay at home. So it's time we take this disease very seriously and try and keep ourselves safe and healthy, including for our young and elderly people.
You've mentioned the fact that we are seeing economies being unstable because of the pandemic. We're seeing people being laid off. And this stress actually goes all the way back to the house. We're seeing people stressful. The issues of domestic violence have risen right now. How do we navigate through this pandemic peacefully, not only as countries, but individuals?
Well, you're right. Actually, mental health situation has gone up. You find that because of, lack of movement, you are always held up in the house with the kids. Some roles have even interchanged. Now the man of the house has to wash dishes, as if that's abnormal. But then, or even our kids, we have to fight for the remote control of the TV. And some families, were forced to buy extra TV to create room for the kids. Because the old guy, the baba in the house, or the mama in the house wants to watch news or TV, her favorite, program in the TV, but the kids are here with us. In the past, the kids used to go out in the school, and it was the responsibility of the teachers all day long. But right now, the kids are here with us all day long, and you are supposed to work from home. So there's a kind of a very stressful environment created in the house. So the thing is, it's time we make room. It's time we give space. This is the new normal. The new normal is abnormal to many of us. As our Minister Kagwe said, the new normal is abnormal. So we have to adapt. We have to give in some space to the kids, to the children in the house, to our spouses, so that we live peacefully. If we don't, then there will be a lot of violence in the house. There will be a lot of tension in the house, negative tension, that is, negative, negativity in the house, because people will be competing for various things in the house. The man does not go out of the house. The mother, the same thing. The children, and the house. As Kenyans, you find that we all live within the same house. We may have the average Kenyan household is about four kids. So you can imagine everybody, fighting for his space within the household. So if you find you are stressed, go seek out medical attention. Call a friend. Relieve the tension and the stress by walking in the morning or in the afternoon, by doing some exercise within the house. You can do a lot of exercises, physical exercises. You can play Scrabble, you can play games with the kids or with the mama of the house. There are a lot of things that can relieve psychological stress of being held up in the house for so long. And then our kids, because they have a lot of energy, they want to play out. If you don't let the kids at least an hour out and then you supervise them while they are playing, then bring them back into the house. But then also make sure you have sanitizers, you have soap and water ready, available in all corners of the house, so that a child who goes out, comes into the house, washes his hands, goes and feeds himself or herself. Yes. That way, we can keep ourselves healthy. We can keep our sanity in the house.
So even as we, keep ourselves healthy, what should Kenyans expect as we celebrate the International Day of Peace?
Well, go to Uhuru Park and enjoy yourself, but keep your distance. Enjoy, go out for a meal, say hi, share, symbolically. I don't know if you have seen, Equal Access International has started a program where we share a cup of tea. And Kenyans, we are known for tea. Our hospitality as a nation is we always welcome our visitors with a cup of tea, isn't it?
Yes.
So the thing is, that cup of tea, that cup of tea has started in Philippines. It has come to Nairobi. It is somewhere rotating. If you can play it for your listeners and viewers, you will see that cup being shared. It's a Kenyan tea inside, and we are sharing it globally. We will pass it to Nigeria once I think they are almost waking up now in Lagos. So we will share it with Nigeria, being the most populous country, the big brother in Africa, also in West Africa. We are the big brother here in East Africa. So we'll share it with Nigeria, and then they can share it with Cote d'Ivoire, Mali, and the rest. And then from there, it crosses the Atlantic into the Atlantic Ocean and Washington, D.C. So it's a symbolic cup of the global humanity, the global brotherhood of human beings. Wherever you are, we share a cup of tea. There are some similarities, whether you're a Kenyan, Nigerian, Filipino, or Nepalese, or American, British, we all drink tea. I don't think or a form of tea. In Nigeria, they have a particular form of tea, but then the tea that is drunk in the Philippines, Nepal, US, is the same tea that we drink here in Nairobi or in Garissa, where I'm speaking from.
All right, finally.
So it's an important day, yes.
Yes, you were saying it is an important day. You can please continue.
Come again?
You were saying that it is an important day. I will allow you to just finish your point.
Yeah, it's an important day for sharing. It's an important day for empathy. Be empathetic to your neighbor who is hungry. Be empathetic or sympathetic to your friend, even to your perceived enemy. I mean, this enemy is a perception. I mean, being from Garissa, and then if I meet somebody who is not my ethnic group, I'll say, hi, bro, mambo, VP, niaje, unadu aje. As Kenyans, we have our own unique way of expressing our brotherhood. Likewise, globally, assalamu alaikum, shalom, harawaku, you can say nesa, whatever language, you want to greet and pass the message, say it express it without holding it up, so that, our humanity is expressed through our words, through our expressions, physical, emotional expressions. And that way, humanity can move ahead and move forward.
All right, thank you very much, Abdirashid Hussein, who is the country director of Equal Access International. Thank you very much for adding more significance into this conversation. And of course, do have yourself a peaceful day.